All right, so today's video, we are back with another Quickplay Warrior video where Quickplay player who plays more Quickplay than comp sends in their VOD, guess their rank, give some feedback, see where they placed. And it's been pretty fun so far, so hopefully y'all have been enjoying it. And with this one, like I said, support player on PC and says, hello. Like most Quickplay Warriors, I rarely play alone. I started out on console and moved to PC about a year ago. I've got 1,300 hours in Quickplay and 50 hours in rank. I am a support main who plays all of the support roster, with my most comfortable heroes being Ana, Kiriko, Bap, Juno, and Mercy. Pretty deep hero pool. I have a huge strive for improvement and have been telling myself for years I'm gonna get better before I start ranked. But due to my lack of confidence, I never really did. Constructive criticism is welcome, as I'd like to start ranking more often. All right, so we'll watch this game. We actually, this is the cool one. We're gonna have Nepal, but we're gonna have the quick play and the ranked one. So this should be fun. So we'll start off by watching it, give an idea of where I think you'll end up placing, and go from there. All right, positioning is right here. Get on a grenade. All right, starting off strong. You can't really worry about the left side right now. Okay. Lucio behind you. Yeah, you heard the Lucio for a bit. I know why he didn't react, but I could hear that from a mile away. I'm like, I hear a Lucio. But good job here. Be careful of your right side. I think there's going to be like a DPS over there. I don't know who the DPS is. It's like an Ashe. Yeah, there you go. But they didn't look at you, so you're fine. And like for future reference, I'd be a little bit careful of like not like kind of almost corner yourself here. I know this spot kind of sucks sometimes, but it also is really good sometimes. So that way you're not taking the damage from the Ashe, and you kind of still do the same thing. See, like you're just kind of playing the more like not advantageous spot for yourself. So just want to point that out. If that angle's clear, you know, so be it. You know, you can take that, but that angle was not cleared out fully, so you could have gotten like one shot there. But so far, your team's doing good. Good play by your Doom. Nice job here. You're fine for now if you're worried about like what I was just talking about, because like they are just resetting. Now you need to worry about it. See? Sleeps have been solid so far. Good sleeps. Very accurate. There you go. Good job. Remember your teammates to the left. I know you did forget about that. And I was going to bring that up eventually. So like, remember when you slept that Ashe? I think it's what? Is it 5 seconds for sleep if it's on a tank? I think it's like 5 seconds. But the point I'm making here is like, you have a window to go check on your teammates, right? Notice how you spent that time just waiting for your Ashe to run over to them there? You had like 3 seconds to look over at your teammates and give them a quick heal. Make sure they're all set, right? Basically, you have 5 seconds when you slept the Ashe before your Tracer came and helped. Help your team.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was confused. I'm like, dude, maybe we're good. Go. Yep, now you're backing up, which is what you have to do. Lucio above you again, looking for a boop. The classic. Still up there. Hog can't really hook you at this range, so you're fine. He was a little bit aggressive. Your position is good. You're good. I mean, really, it's just save your honor grenade for Hog. I sometimes go for that honor grenade too, but then I've realized that like there's so many times where if I just had my honor grenade because I just spam it randomly, that I would just kill a Hog. So, but your position has kept you alive, so this has been very solid. Remember, the Hog can't really hook you. Good sleep. Honor grenades are too. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the second time you've done like, or maybe even third time. Your honor grenades are too high. You just gotta lower them a little bit. Go practice in the training range for a little bit on like bots, and you'll be fine. You're just going a little bit too high with it, so you're just missing. You're not like taking into account like, or maybe you're over like taking into account how much you need to lift, like go higher in the air. I did that with Zarya right clicks for a little bit, where I started to loft them a little bit more and miss more, and then I'm like, wait a sec, I can laser these a little bit better, and it helped a ton. So did you swear your grenades always go too short? Yeah, it's like just a certain spot you want to go with most of the time, but like it's more of just something you figure out as you keep playing. You kick the field goal with that one. Now you're out of cooldowns, by the way, so you're doing kind of the correct thing here. Like this is basically, yep. I mean, now obviously I imagine if that was ranked, you might give that a little bit more of a battle there, but yeah, I mean, you did the correct play. There's nothing you can do at that point, right? Like you're just, the best thing you can do is distract them. You have no cooldowns. Now, If you want to know the truth there, you probably should have backed up much sooner than you were or not spammed all your cooldowns in the way that you did. Remember, I always give this advice. A lot of the time, people will do very well with good positioning, and then as a team fight is won, they kind of trend away from where they started on those positioning sides, right? So remember, when you win a team fight, reset to the spot that got you there, unless your teammates are all aggressively pushing into like a room. Stay at the spots that got you to where you were in these situations, right? Because that's usually why you're winning, is because of that good positioning. Then you start to get closer, and that's what happens. So for anybody like hasn't seen this series yet, basically we guess the rank of the Quickplay player. They have done placements after this, and then I guess what their rank's going to be, and then kind of give them more feedback. It's kind of getting an idea of like, this is where I think your rank would be, and then I watch it, see what the placements actually say, and then we go from there. Yep. And this also gives, more VODs to, players in Quickplay who don't, normally play ranked. It may still be interested in learning a lot of that stuff, regardless. Again, out of cooldowns, so you just have to wait. Hog is not happy with you right now. Yep. Now, you just gotta wait that out. Now they're gonna wake up now. Because remember the 3 seconds we talked about earlier.
I see you.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Grenade. Out of cooldowns again. I would try to nano somebody soon. All right, their Bastion fell off the map. Nano your Doom if you can. Just because they're all there. Great nano. Keep in mind, chat, that's to keep the momentum going, right? I see what you're trying to do here. You don't want to get booped off the map. Lucio really wants to boot people off the map. Right idea. Remember to pay attention to your teammates right now. The best thing you can do is keep your teammates alive. And you'll just win the team fight in this round. So, good play by your Doom. Remember, the tank should be coming back from the right-hand side or middle, very short. Wow, what an auto grenade. Holy crap, nice nade. Ah, that was sick. The stats at the end of the game? Sure, I can show you the stats right now, too, see? Yeah, that was a great grenade, yeah. I love how we have that auto grenade, and then we have the one that goes 40 feet over their heads.
5, 4.
It's like the quarterback who can, like, throw accurate passes, but when it's not accurate, it's just gone. It's 15 feet over their head. All right, here we go.
Good kitty.
The enemy is
So it's for your wound. You made your time.
Get them off the objective.
Okay. Position was fine. Took high ground control. Teammates just kind of went all over the place. Not much you can do about that one. I don't mind you being up here. I want you to be wary of to your left. Yep, you're good. Missed your sleep, which, I mean, that's okay in that situation. You're kind of stuck here. You just got to get a kill. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. In that situation, Chad, just go for a trade. And you did the right play. Your teammates died. You can't do anything. Don't stagger yourself as long. You went with the headshot perk. Headshot perk is honestly really good. Probably, I'm going to imagine that after their perk stats will be one of the most picked ones. Because headshots on Ana are really strong. Okay. Yeah, your team's kind of just getting snowballed right now. Best thing you can do as a team is just settle, right? Like, you just want to just settle. Just give it a second. Wait on everybody. Wait for it. Well, yeah, people go hog on that map, exactly. Kind of like you do on Ilios well, you know? Still waiting? All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, right now it just feels like your team's caught in a constant deathmatch, and you want to go high ground, and your team wants to go that way. There's a certain point where you just need to go with your team, even though it kind of sucks. Well, I mean, technically, I still think you're going to the correct spots, but it's just not working. So don't be afraid to switch it up a little bit. And I love going to that spot. It's just...
Hello.
Sometimes it's okay to rotate a little bit quicker or something like that in general. Because, your spot's great. It's just teammates weren't winning it. But, hey, won the team fight, so now that's all hindsight.
Good kid.
Nano targets here, you can give it to a Genji to get some blade percentage, because you could probably build it by the time that the next, they get blade, just based off of where they're at. You can nano your, I guess, Roadhog if you want to. That's totally fine, or you can just win a team fight. You don't have to nano anybody. I'm more of a proactive nano player when I know my teammates aren't close to ult, because I feel like I can build my ultimate in the same amount of time they would build theirs. Support just builds out pretty quickly. So there you go. Ended up nanoing the Genji anyway, which I think is fine. Again, you're just doing it to get some ult charge for your Genji and also do that. Like, look at that. Genji gets a free pick and gain 22% ult charge? It looks like. I think that was maybe 30% ult charge, all because of that nano, right? Now, they might have a dry blade now, right? But, like, we don't have nano, but overall, it should be fine. You still could win the team fight anyway. Heal your hog. Maybe you get it in time, or maybe your Genji waits. Either way. That was a good nano. Position is now looking much more solid. I think you had the same mindset I had. The Sojourn wasn't going to stand still, so we'll ignore you missing the last shot. I thought they were going to move too. I don't know why they stood still. Already 60 on your next nano. Remember, chat, why I like being proactive with that. One more honor grenade here. You could already be at 70% when they go through. If you choose to, it's okay to honor grenade this. I like aggressive honor grenades in the right spots. You don't have to worry about a Roadhog with that. Like, as in, like, you don't have to worry about their Roadhog. Good cleanse by your Ana. Looking for some damage. Remember, top left, your teammate might need a little bit of help. Genji goes down there, so this actually works out perfectly, because if you don't win this team fight, actually, it does not work out perfectly. Because your teammates are going to die here, so you won't be able to get the nano blade off. So, nano your hog the moment you get it. Nano your hog, yep. Now, chat, I want to talk about this. Sometimes people get mad if you use nano when they have nano blade. If you're the Genji in this situation that's on kind of you for falling over there, your Ana is forced to use the nano. You can't save your ultimates in between control rounds in Overwatch. All right? That's in Rivals where you can save your ultimates, but not in Overwatch. Yep. Like, you see how your Genji's back on point with Blade? It's all hindsight at that point. Because, like, yes, your Genji made it there, but if you end up not nanoing your hog, there's a good chance your hog dies and you don't even have any point pressure happening to begin with, and that team fight goes completely different from what you're used to, right? So I just want to kind of get in, kind of get in that mindset of that stuff, right? Anyway, let's do this. All right. I like how you let them know your nano boost is at 4%. This is huge. Think about positioning. Don't get caught in the middle here. You did lose your Kiriko, but, like, just worry about establishing a good spot to heal. Right? That's the important part here. All right, there's a random sleep. Okay. Prioritizing position here is going to be a little bit rough at first, but I would try to gravitate a little bit on the right side to get that angle. It's a pretty safe spot. Thankfully, no one here on their team sees you. This is really good hide-and-seek work here. Missing your honor grenades a lot. I love how you miss a lot of your honor grenades, but then you also hit the one on that Lucio on the first point. That was great. Okay, still paying attention here. Sleep again. Sleeps have been, it's funny. Your honor grenades need some work. Your sleeps have been pretty accurate. There's the Mercy doing some damage. Good job looking for damage output. I do like that you're looking for damage as well as heals. That is a very good sign, because, like, there's a lot of damage opportunity that even, like, when I play support, I sometimes miss out on this, so you're doing a good job of that. Nano target here would still be one of your teammates. It could be the Genji still. But if you win the team fight, you can save it. So, because Genji's at 70 now. Get away from this spot. This is playing too aggro. Remember, they have ultimates too. If you have your ultimates, there's a good chance they have theirs. See what I mean? Like, see how you're out of position now and now you can't use your nano? That's purely your fault, right? You're up there by yourself. You're playing too aggro. You don't need to be there. You need to position yourself more towards your backside of point and then be able to survive that. Now, instead, you're in a rough spot. So, why do players not go for health packs a lot of time? I honestly, like, truthfully, I think a lot of it is, like, if you look at Overwatch 1, health packs were good, but, like, you didn't need them. In Overwatch 2, because of the DPS passive, like, health packs are almost a necessity because your teammates can't keep up with heals over time. So it's like, it could just be a mindset from Overwatch 1 where it wasn't as much of a big deal. Obviously, if you played Wrecking Ball, Tracer, etc., different story, but in Overwatch 2, the DPS passive just, like, everybody thinks they can be healed, big slam, and they can't be. So, I would nano your Genji here, even though I know you have nano for Hog, but, like, I would just give it to Genji the moment you see Genji. Yeah. Either way. Point. Now, keep in mind, the reason why that's different from the second point call is because you weren't even, like, it wasn't about touching the point at that point for, like, your Roadhog. It was about basically making sure your Genji blade survives. So that's why I always say, like, you might be able to give one bit of feedback on that where I was like, no, just give it to your Hog. In that situation, you give it to the Genji because they were really close to their ultimate, and they also could dash to the point off a dash reset once they have that blade, so. Was that a solo shatter? I mean, it was a big slam is what it was. That's all I know. All right, good job surviving that. Get back up here. Remember what happened last time when you got too aggressive? Play positioning. Make it harder for them to get a kill on you. The harder that it is for them to get a kill on you, and the more they have to overextend, the better it is for you. Now, obviously, if your teammates go out of line of sight, that's on them. Right? Like, that's on your soldier. Your soldier took an angle. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Notice how you're always having to run around in circles like this? Establishing good position, and, like, I mean, you could play it safe here. You could, it's too late, but if you wanted to initially, after you won the... Actually, you never mind. I was going to say you can go up here and, like, be annoying there, but, like, you never really even won this team fight yet, even though you got the point. So, like, just basically don't run into their team. This point's a little bit weird because there's, like, so many stuff here, like things here, but just if you find yourself running at them, not going to work out. And that's kind of what's happening with you. You're getting away with a lot of plays because of your mechanics, but your position is kind of getting you killed. What were you saying about slams, chat? We call that a big slam. All right. And again, like, you lose the quick play game there, obviously. Here's a stat line for people wondering. Solid, amount of... You actually did a lot more damage than healing. You actually did 9,500 damage. But I never felt like you needed to heal your teammates outside of a couple of moments that I had mentioned on the first point. Like, it was never about a lack of healing. It was about a lack of positioning for everybody there. But mechanics look pretty solid. I mean, obviously you need to work on like your honor grenade. I think that's one of your big weaknesses, but your position. And that's been a trend so far in the series I've been watching. It feels like the position is a little bit wild at times. But now we can guess the rank. I actually believe, again, I might go a little bit high here, but I'm gonna fall into that like plateau category again. I think your positioning needs work, but your mechanics are good. And like, even if we finish the comp one and you don't finish in that plat range, I still think mechanically, you have the capability of getting there, right? I just think your mechanics are solid. Now, it's funny that I say that and I mentioned like you need to hit your honor grenades more, but that's like a simple fix. It's not because your honor grenade is like missing by a mile to the left. It's because you're just aiming too high. That's easy. So you're saying easily get to plat or high diamond? You're saying a diamond? Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I'm going with plat 2. I think that's kind of there. We'll see where the next game goes. Thankfully, the next game is also in Nepal, so we get kind of a taste of that. So there's no story for this game. So normally I would read a story here. Outside of that, it's Mercy on a Kiriko. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see.
Take him out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna look at this right now, but. Okay, so we're on Mercy. Obviously, you can take high ground top right. Good pick by your Cass. So, in this situation, your target priority is going to be damage boosting your soldier or your Cass. I know I say target priority, but you know what I mean. Damage boost your soldier or Cass. Sometimes you can just go purely off of vibes, like, hey, this player's popping off more than the other player. It happens. Doesn't mean they're playing bad. Sometimes someone's just feeling it, right? Right now, your Cassidy would be my #1 go-to to save. At the same time, that Cassidy's positioning was a little bit too aggressive, so it was right on you not to follow them in there. Damage boost your soldier now. Keep things pretty chill. Give yourself angles, but so far so good. I always talk about floating too much. Just be careful of like doing that, but your movement seems like you have the movement idea down. I just don't want you to like overfloat, but you seem fine on that. Yep, you're using your positioning. So far, everything seems fine, right? Hopefully, everything seems fine so far. There you go. Going over. Watching. So far, so good. Pretty safe. You're not doing anything, bad play-wise here. Yeah, so far, so good. I don't even have anything, like, really anything I can say that's, like, super rough here so far. Your team's playing well. You're playing fine. That's pretty much it. Here we go.
This should be beneficial. Heroes never die.
Okay. Good Val. I mean, so far, I don't even have to give too much feedback right now. You've been damage boosting. You're using your movement in a solid way. Everything's been fine so far. I'm gonna be real with you. I think their rank's higher already than I predicted. Yeah, movement's looking great. I can tell the movement is you have. So one thing that's a telltale sign to me that you're probably going to be higher than I even predicted on this one, right? Is because your movement alone is you have like. So one thing I've noticed is like sometime with Mercy you'll see like one movement. Like you play against a Mercy and that Mercy's really good at super jumping, right? Just really good at it. That's like the Mercy is so good at that, but that's the one play. I've seen you do about 3 or 4 different movement techs here. Again, when I say movement tech, like a lot of the same, but like you're slingshotting back and forth. You're using that slingshot to reposition yourself. So everything so far has seemed pretty solid. So I'm already going to guess the rank is higher than I guessed from the quick play one. But again, we also going to see Kiriko and Ana, so that might shift. But yeah, that was really good. Everything was good there. Your target priority's been solid. This might be where they finally get you, but that's because your teammates died, right? So overall, a good start by you. As long as you keep the damage boost priority going and you balance back and forth, so far so good. Looking at the stat line, you have 2,500 healing, but you haven't had need to do it on healing. So that's pretty solid. Here we go. Huge. Oh, you're going back and forth. All right, your team's about to flip the point. Maybe not. Right idea here. You're gonna basically be hecked in a second, I think. Yeah, I mean, no, I can already tell. No, you're not. Maybe it was on. Maybe your Ana was, but not your Mercy. I would be very surprised if this is like even below diamond. I'm not even joking. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I'm watching this and like. That is good Mercy movement. Like you were making it hard on them to get kills.
Step right.
So. Yeah, looks like your teammates end up just winning this. Yep. So good first round there. Great Mercy play. I mean, I didn't see too much there. Obviously, like if there's Mercy players who see stuff that I don't see there. Overall, I thought that was solid. Movement was great. You were damage boosting, you were heal boosting, you were slingshotting, you were doing difficult, like making it difficult when you went for reses. Overall, I thought you played a very solid like Mercy right there. All right, now you're on to Ana. This is great because we watched you just play Ana on this map. Let's see if there was any adjustments made from that quick play game. Let's see if you're still making those same mistakes. But overall, I'm already in the. This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm already in like the Diamond Masters range in this chat. But now let's see if that's the case on this round. All right, let's see what happens. All right, you're going to the position that you did last time. So far, so good. You know the left side is controlled, so you don't have to worry about that. That's why angles are important. See how the soldier over there is taking that angle? The Ana can play like this now without having to worry about that angle for now. Like that's what's the cool part. Like it's always nice to have another teammate with you when you're taking these really good map spots because then you know that spot's gonna not be taken from you, or at least you can know when it's coming. Right there, honestly, that was your teammates kind of overextended on the right-hand side rather than defaulting back to the middle. So that was more on your teammates playing a little bit too aggressive with their position. So
I see you.
you said it could be high elo because no one immediately ran to the point. Yeah, you noticed that? Yep. Like, did you see what happened there? Like, no one went there? How do I feel about Mercy and comp, as in when you should pick her and switch? I mean, that's gonna, I can pause for a second to answer that question. That's a hard one for me to answer. And the reason why that's hard for me to answer is because it's so situational. Like, switching off of Mercy, it comes down to this. Like, do you feel like you just, no matter what you're doing, you just can't keep your teammates alive, right? Like, okay, let me give you an example. You're playing Mercy. You're great at Mercy. Everything's going well. It's fine. But then your teammates keep dying. Why do they keep dying? Ana grenade. There's just an Ana on the other team who keeps Ana grenading your team, and no matter what you're doing, even with res, your teammates are just, you basically just lose the team fight, right? You're not doing anything inherently bad. You're not playing bad. You're doing everything right that you can do. But then you're like, damn, like, I just can't keep my teammates alive. So that's where you can start to think about, maybe I go Kiriko, right? Maybe like, while my Mercy is good here, maybe I go Kiriko to prevent the Ana from getting that value. And then if they swap off the Ana because you're denying those plays, you can go back to Mercy because you've kind of forced that issue there. Does that make sense? It's one of those things where it's more about thinking about, you can kind of get yourself back to the hero, right? When I play tank and I get counter swapped a lot, I can rotate back to the tank I want. If I play against a counter swapper, like someone who just only counter swaps, oh, I can rotate you back to where I want to play, right? All by making the hero swaps. Like I know how to get, like, if somebody keeps swapping heroes on me, I can just play a game of like chess right there, and I will have you on the tank I want you on by the end of that game, because if you're going to counter swap me the whole time. So point I'm making, maybe you go, Kiriko, and the Ana's like, well, I can't do that now. They have a Kiriko, and then you swap back to something, back to Mercy, because they swap off to like a Yari or something, and then you start damage boosting your teammates, and then you're winning again, right? So it's very situational, and I don't want to get in the habit of telling you always switch on this. I want, like, but think about that kind of scenario, and maybe that will help you. Okay, anyway. All right. Taking the control, your teammates there. Good job. Now remember, they're going to be in front of you to the left. So where do you want to position here? Further back again, unless your teammates go up. Great job. Positioning's good. But now look at your teammates. Nope. Yep. I know what you're trying to do. They're not listening. Great job, by the way. Chat, if you're wondering what Ana was doing right there, Ana was pinging to show the line of sight. This is advice I've given. You've given the advice. Teammates aren't listening. Now it's on you to adapt, unfortunately. But yes, I did see what you were doing. You're letting your teammates know that you can only heal from this location, which is the correct play. The issue, and I was just going to say, the issue is that you have nobody controlling the left side. So in this situation, you need to play further back because of that. You knew this was going to happen. So, like, if you don't have your teammate with you there, remember how you had your soldier there? This is exactly what's going to happen. So this, in my opinion, was, oh my, what a play by that Orisa. That Orisa just ulted your whole team. That was a pretty sick play. To kind of point this out here, though, you had you had the right idea, but you didn't take into account that your teammates lost that angle. So you have to take that into account, and then the whole situation gets your whole team snowballed out. Not because of you, but you made it easier on that Orisa's decision making. Nice sleep on your Cassidy. Nice sleep. Yeah, it depends on what your other support's playing. Obviously, like Mercy Lucio won't be the best backline, but it can work, right? It's not my favorite backline. In poke watch, where it's just like everybody's poking damage and all that, you know what I mean? So
Tactical visor activated.
You're powered up. Get in there.
The reason why I went is because I didn't know if, like, I think you might have lost the timing on the nano boost on Soldier, so it could have been better suited for maybe, like, I don't know, your Cass or a tank or something. You gotta hit the sleep. You don't have to hit the sleep. It would be kind of cool to hit it. Okay. Your Juno's on the left side with you. Everybody's starting to push up, so now you adapt your positioning. Yeah, you're doing it right. Everything's fine. Good job. Worry about their ultimates coming up. You have Orisa ult again. You're not going to know they have Orisa ult again because I think, if I'm correct, I think when the Orisa went down there, they got a bunch of ult charge too on top of that you weren't able to track. So yep. Oh, yep. Same problem. Notice how, like, you need to be a little bit quicker on your disengage. Yes, you're surviving, but you can be much quicker on that reaction. Yep. There you go, much better. Honor grenades have been fine so far. That's been good. Chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. This has been pretty solid, like, for what you're supposed to, like, do in these situations. Like, it's been pretty solid. Like, the damage output's been good. Like, still putting some damage out. The healing's been solid. Like, obviously, that was just a good play by their Ana. And they risked it again. Look at, oh no, twice. That's just Orisa's map, okay? There's nothing you can do about that. Orisa came to play, all right? That's just how it goes. Orisa came to play. I don't mind Kiriko here either. I mean, this is good. We actually saw on the Quickplay game that you might have learned from this of, like, you were running out of line of sight issues, right, on Ana, right? Like, I mean, you were having line of sight issues. So, like, why not just play a hero where you have a little bit easier time of line of sight? So we'll see the Kiriko. This Kiriko round is gonna help me kind of solidify where I think this rank is. We'll see. We'll see. Good cleanse again. Great job recognizing the honor grenades were impactful on their team. So far, so good. Perk, you went with what one is that one again? That's not the heal one, right? That's the other one. Like when you do damage one, like it shoots out stuff. Good cleanse again. Cleanses have been solid thus far. Damage output's looking good. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. And you're doing damage, yeah. Chat, I'm moving into Masters now. Am I getting wild with this one? Nice play. So the reason why I think is because look at all the movement. Look at all of the movement we're seeing back and forth. Like doing damage output, recognizing like when to use the cleanse, when to move around, when to be a difficult target to get. Like, so far so good. A really quick Kitsune. This has been good. Yep. Okay, ready? You can Kitsune this. Yep. Reason why you Kitsune this is that you don't quite have the HP to be able to keep the momentum that you would have from the pick. So you keep the momentum going, and this also builds the L charge with the rest of your teammates. So sometimes a really quick Kitsune, even if you don't have it for the next team fight and you could in theory lose it, what this does is it helps build up the rest of your teammates' ultimates after you personally had a quick ultimate, right? Which means that if they had a quick ultimate, that means they also have their ult, so you're gonna like get ult stacked anyway. So like getting ahead of that and being able to build an ultimate and guarantee a team fight win, I'm okay with that. I like aggressive plays. So we'll see. Great cleanse. Yep. Remember, we talked about the ult stack that was going to happen. This was going to happen regardless. But do you see why winning that team fight was important? And like what it did is like basically now your teammates are slowly getting ultimates. You got the point to about what, 79%? Still going to be 2 team fights to win it. Maybe not. Depends if you flip the point before they lose everybody. But overall, like, you know, you did what you had to do there. You were going to get ult stacked regardless. Something that people forget about sometimes, like just a little bit of like a tip here. You know how sometimes like when your teammates have ultimates and like you kind of go, oh, we have these ults, people forget about what the other team has. And when you look at your team and you see that you're the only one with an ultimate and you have a support ultimate, there's something you can take from that. You know what that is? They have a lot of ults. Want to know why? Because if your healing output is that high and you already have your ultimate that early, it means you were healing a bunch, which means that they built a bunch of ult charge. Hence why they have such an ult advantage to start, right? So you can take that into account sometimes to kind of start to, you know, dictate your next fight, right? Because like they're not going to expect it. They're going to be close to ults. So they're going to play a little bit more aggro to get them. And that's why they can soon end up being pretty solid. So. Here we go. Yeah, you just missed the cleanse. One thing I gotta say, and again, you haven't done a lot of long range stuff, but you are gonna need to work on your long range honor grenades and like Suzus. I don't want you to have to long range Suzu all the time, but you're gonna have to do it sometimes, and you're gonna want to get better at that because those plays can make or break. I mean, you've seen it in pro play. Like you've seen in pro play where a player like just knows exactly where to throw a lamp across the map, and that lamp saves somebody. Like you've seen it in ranks. So there's times where getting good at that can make or break a game sometimes. Like it can change a game. That's something you're gonna have to work on, just in general if you continue to play some ranked.
Be healed.
Yep. Nice job, good reaction, good damage output. Get to shoot the bell. I don't go for it too often, but great play. Your team now has a bit of an advantage. Like, you don't have an ult advantage, but you stagger them so much that their ultimate is going to be like... I don't mind the risk of this play. I'm only concerned that they have ults. Yep. Yeah, that's my concern. I made this mistake a few times when the other day we did the top 500 like support grind for fun. We got to it and all that. And like one of the mistakes I made on Kiriko was going in to save my teammates when it just isn't worth it anymore because you get yourself killed. Yeah, you might just luck out here because I don't know if they can tap point. Yep. And there you go. You win the game. So great overall play. Again, I would definitely try to work on your positioning a little bit more. I definitely think that it's going to help you. I think what you do is you know to establish good spots, but then you forget about the rest of what's going to happen after that. So sometimes have an internal clock to check something like, oh, you know, maybe after 5 seconds, you just check your left in case they're going to that angle. But overall, like, I'll be real with you, like, mechanics were pretty good. In Quickplay, I said plat 2 at the time because, like, I looked at your mechanics and I was like, okay, mechanics are great, but decision-making and positioning was a little bit off at times. You go into a rank game, your positioning was better, can be better, but was good, was solid enough, and your decision-making was much, much better. Now it's about cleaning up things like throwing your honor grenades across the map and making sure they're accurate or overusing your cooldowns, sometimes. But, like, your Mercy play was great this game. Your Ana play was fine. Like, it was, we ran into the same problem sometimes of forgetting the angles. And your Kiriko was great. You used position and you did damage. So I'll be real with you, chat. I think like I'm gonna go with something wild here. I'm going Masters 3. Keep in mind, I went from Plat 2 all the way to Masters 3 because of how much of a difference I saw when it came down to teamwork. Now, can chat be very accurate about the Diamond 3? Absolutely. But I actually believe that there was some really good play here. Now, maybe they end up in Diamond on this, but I actually think there was great stuff here. Yep. Diamond 3's in the middle of Masters. It can be a little bit there. Anyway, we'll see. The rank is Diamond 4. Now, chat, are you ready for this, by the way? Diamond 4. Okay? There you go. Want to know what their record was during this? You want to know what their record was? 8-2. 8-2 in the Diamond 4 placements. Do you see the point I'm making here? Yeah, the rank says Diamond. I believe that if they continue on this trend, they will climb. Also, chat, some of these players were in my rank game yesterday when I was doing the DPS grind. And those lobbies were, I think my DPS was like GM2. So that means that this lobby was probably Diamond Masters. That's one of the accounts from yesterday. I figured it out right towards the end. No, I'm looking at the soldier at the end there on the kill feed, and I go, that soldier, by the way, that soldier, I remember this soldier. That's an account from yesterday. I bet if I looked at my reviews right now, you'll see that soldier. That was one of like the new accounts that was playing tank and all that. I don't think their DPS was at that level. I think their tank was in like the GM range, so that meant that this game was probably towards the higher end. But I figured it out towards the end, okay? Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I also think Crow's a stadium player. What do you mean, Kira? My guess was still Masters before I even figured that out. Before I even figured that out, my guess was going to be in Masters. I figured it out towards the end of this round. I'm like, I recognize these players. I didn't know what rank. I was still wrong. It was Diamond 4, but I don't think they're Diamond 4. I think they're going to climb. No, I actually started with Plat 2, and then as I saw their first games, I said, there's no way. The Mercy movement alone, that's when everything changed for me on that one, was the Mercy movement. The Mercy movement was where I was like, there's no way this player is going to be in Plat. There's just no way. That was so good movement on Mercy. Anyway, great job. I think, listen, you said you wanted confidence in ranked. You played just fine. You played just fine. I think you're going to... Chat, do you see any issues here with this player climbing? I don't see any issue with these players climbing. You said you needed the confidence of ranked. You played great. Most of your issues, right? Like, most of your issues are just come from, like, you being a little bit too... how do I put this? Like, just not remembering that they can go from a certain angle. Like, you did pretty solid. So I think you're going to climb if you keep playing. Yeah. Either way, great job. Keep it up. Honestly, if you keep playing ranked, I think you will climb. Great play. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. Think you're a quick play warrior. You want to submit something else? My Discord's ready to do that. And if you want to watch another one of these videos, it's going to be popped up on the bottom here. Make sure to click the button and check them out. It's a good one. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day/night.